Hello, and welcome back to episode 42 of Was I in the Wrong on the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison. Here on the Misty Morrison podcast, we love to judge, we love to give advice, we love all the petty trauma. Before we get into our stories for today, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning, please remember to engage with the content. It really helps the channel grow. Whether you are listening on podcast or YouTube, rate, review, like, subscribe, comment, share it with a friend, all the things. Okay, before we get into our stories for today, I am gone on my trip to St. Charles right now, so we are in another new setting. Got this pretty painting behind me, here in the hotel room. So this one's really nice. It's actually a huge room. There's like a whole living room office area that I'm in. Then there's like a little kitchenette, a bathroom, and then there's a door that separates the bedroom from the rest of it. Really nice. Okay, on to our stories for the day. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/AITA_relationships. AITA for telling my fiance to join the military or go to therapy. Interesting options. I, 22 female, have been with my fiance, 24 male, for 5.5 years. We have been engaged for the last 2 years. We are in no rush to get married because we both want our finances in order before we spend money on a wedding. A few months ago, some things started to shift in my fiance. We'll call him C. C started getting very aggressive with me, whether it be verbal or physical. I brushed it off thinking that this was because his grandmother passed away. So I tried to be there for him in the best way I knew how. I would come home from work every day and make his favorite meals and desserts made with his grandmother's recipes. Clean the house and make sure his favorite movies or TV shows were on when he got home. You put the work in. Okay. Nothing I did was correct in his eyes. Either I oversalted dinner and disgraced his grandmother, or I missed a dish or two when doing dishes. Dessert wasn't the exact same, so on and so forth. I kept brushing it off until he started leaving right after dinners to go hang out with his new friends, which was perfectly fine with me. All I asked was that he let me know where he was and if he needed a ride. I had no problem going and getting him if he was unable to drive. Still, like, winning girlfriend of the year so far. One night, he called and said he needed a ride. So I went and got him. Apparently, I also needed to pick up a bunch of his new friends as well. The entire car ride, they kept saying that I'm trying to control him and I'm not letting him have fun. I kept quiet because I truly didn't know if I made him feel that way. After we dropped his buddies off, C and I got into a fight about how his friends were talking to me. I pulled over and we kept arguing. He ended up hitting me, and I got out of the car, took the keys, and walked home. The next day, I talked to his mom about what was going on. This is where I may be the asshole. I told my fiance that if he wants to be with me, he needs to either go to therapy or join the military. He's always wanted to join the military. This wasn't the big shock that it sounds like. Okay. He told me that he has already turned in his paperwork and is getting ready to go off to boot camp, but he's mad because I gave him an ultimatum. C said that I shouldn't have put him in situations that I know are going to make him angry. So AITAH for telling my fiance that he needs to go therapy or join the military. Update. Thank you to everyone that left comments on my post. Let me just say this before I get into what happened. I had this all typed up and saved for months. I just posted this yesterday. So for everyone who wants to know, C and I broke up. If you want a full update on what exactly happened, I will do one, but I don't think you will like the answers. It's kind of ominous. Yeah, everything about this, okay. Am I the asshole for telling my fiance to join the military or go to therapy? No, I really don't. I mean, ultimately, based on everything else in the story, I really don't think that even matters at this point, that you gave him an ultimatum. And I mean, you didn't follow up with, you do A or B. If not, we break up. It was just, you kind of recommended do this or this. And for a lot of people, like, they can work kind of similarly, either therapy or the military, depending on the type of person you are. If he always wanted to join the military anyway, it shouldn't matter. But you are not the asshole at all in this situation. I don't really care what you said to him. He hit you, and that is the only thing that matters. Not only did he hit you, but he also gaslit you and blamed you for his actions by saying that you put him in situations that make him mad. No, it sounds like this new friend group really kind of fed into some insecurities that he had, and built him up to be some tough guy, and he suddenly thought he could act this way and get away with it. So, you are right, and I'm really glad to hear you guys broke up. Before we go on to our next story, I am going to check out OP's account to see if this was from 12 days ago. So I am going to see if they posted an update because I really want to know. Okay, no, OP as of right now only has 2 posts on their account. And I will actually go ahead. The other one is another AITAH post. So I will go ahead and save it. Well, same person, so we'll go ahead and read it now. The one we just read was from 12 days ago, and the one we are about to read is from 94 days ago. So, story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITAH. AITAH for asking my parents to quit hosting parties at their house. Immediate response, yes, because it's their house. I genuinely cannot tell if I'm the asshole or not. Most of my family seems to think I am, but I feel as though they don't know why I feel this way. I, 22 female, live with my parents. I also pay $1,200 in rent, which covers their mortgage, and we have a lease agreement signed and notarized. That's a lot. Everything for the most part is fine, except when they try acting like I'm still a child. I can easily brush this off because I'm their youngest and they will always feel this way about me. But 2 weeks ago, my mom had told me she was having my niece's party at our house. I was excited in the beginning because I absolutely love my niece. My mom's history with having parties at our house is about a 50-50 chance that people will fight or everything will be fun. My dad was a little bit irritated that she told everyone that my niece's party was going to be here, but he quickly got over it. Last week, my mom came to me saying that they didn't have any extra money for the party. I think you can see where this is going. So she asked if I could pitch in. I asked about how much she needed. She said about $500. How old is this niece turning? No. What? I told her I would give her $250 because my dad would get paid 2 days later. She said that she couldn't buy everything she needed with $250 and $500 might not even cover everything. So I asked her to ask my niece's mom or my brother for the money as she is not my child and I can't afford to give her $500 at that moment. My dad makes over $150,000 a year salary. I do all the grocery shopping and pay for it so my mom can do her outdoor projects at the house. My mom has been upset with me ever since that conversation. Skip forward to today. She is once again upset with me because none of the housework is done for the party, and I'm not working fast enough to help her. I'm the only one doing the housework today. The party is at 2:30 p.m. and it's currently 10:15 a.m. and all the housework is done, plus I made all the sides she was going to make. She's been yelling at me to do everything, and I understand that she is stressed because a lot of people are coming over. But I told her in a moment of anger to quit having parties at our house if you are going to get so angry at everyone trying to help you. She told me I live in her house and she can do what she wants in it. If I'm going to be ungrateful for living in her home, then I can move out. My dad told me that I have every right to be upset and I need to not talk to my mom like that. Oh, my dad told me that I have every right to be upset, but I need to not talk to my mom like that. I agreed with him and went to apologize to my mom, but she just said the damage is done and asked when I would be finding a new place to live. My dad doesn't want me to move out because they are really relying on me to pay my rent during summer because they have so much to do on our property that they can't afford the mortgage and projects. I asked my brother and uncle that are here, and they both said that I'm the asshole for talking to my mom that way and that I should find a new place to live because I'm 22 and living with my mommy and daddy time is over. So Reddit, AITA for telling my mom to quit having parties at their house. Short update. Oh, oh, the updates, all of the updates are possibly longer than the post. So, before I even get into the updates, I'll give my opinion on the story itself. Initially, I was going to go asshole because you said it is, you're an adult living in your parents' house, but you pay rent. You pay honestly an outrageous amount of rent because you are covering not only their entire mortgage, but you are also buying all the groceries for the household. Not even that, but you have a signed lease agreement. So you are not just living in your parents' house, you are a legitimate renter. You are renting a space. I don't know if your lease agreement is specific to, which spaces you have access to, when, or what exactly that agreement looks like. But as long as you are legally a renter, then this space is also yours and you do get a say. Just like in a roommate situation, if one roommate wanted to have a party and the other said they really didn't want anything noisy going on, the right thing to do is to respect the other's opinion, to not inconvenience or make the other people who rightfully live in the space and occupy it uncomfortable. Um, was the way you went about it right? No. But when you signed that lease agreement, they gave you rights within the home as an adult paying for a place to live. So, no, I don't think you're the asshole for asking her to quit hosting parties when it's causing her to be almost belligerent towards people. Like she's getting like you're doing a ton more work. You are fronting the money for the party and she's yelling at you over everything when you're literally doing everything she asked and everything that she should be doing. No. You are a renter. This party has inconvenienced you, has made you uncomfortable in the home that you have a right to be in. So no, not the asshole. And as far as moving out, I do think it's in your best interest to move out. Absolutely. Like, this does not seem like a good situation for you. And honestly, I don't know where you live, if you're in a big city or what, but at $1,200 a month, I feel like you could easily have your own private space. Yeah, but I would definitely refer back to your lease agreement to see, if they have to give you notice for like how long you have to find a place or what that looks like. Okay, on to the many updates. I'm so curious now. Short update. I didn't expect to get very many comments on this and started thinking I'm the asshole. Thank you to everyone in the comments for your advice. A little background on my family dynamic. My brother is 25 and has 2 kids with 2 different moms. He is single and has 0 custody over either child, and lives in an apartment. My dad works out of town all the time, which leaves my mom by herself a lot. She hates being alone at night, which caused me to switch jobs a little over a year ago. With my new job, I'm making roughly $73,000 a year. What I don't spend, I put into savings. My dad was the one to initially ask me to pay rent because they were struggling. They constantly are giving my brother money. Pause. So struggling is a choice that they're making because you said earlier that your dad makes $150,000 a year. They shouldn't be struggling with $150,000 a year. They should be okay. If it's between whatever these outdoor projects are that they want to do or paying the mortgage, you're paying the mortgage. The outdoor projects are going to have to wait. Yeah, if one person is making $150,000 a year and you can't make it, maybe you need to downsize your house. Maybe you need to move to a less expensive city. And also, not, take care of your older child by giving him money when he's continually being irresponsible while making your younger child be responsible and pay for everything. No, I don't know what's going on. Back to the story. I agreed, but I told them I want a lease agreement. No, I did not need to give them notice to move out. It was more so that I could also gain renter's history for when I move out. Ooh, that was good thinking. They both agreed that it for about a month. Okay, they both agreed and that was it for about a month. Then my brother there was some words missing there. I had to put that together. Then my brother was constantly coming over and eating all the groceries, so I started buying my own and keeping it in my room or in the fridge with labels on it. I have always done the house chores, but when my dad is gone, I take on all of the house chores. Getting groceries started, getting expected of me when my dad came home, and my mom refused to go to the grocery store because she was doing her projects. Something is wrong with your mom. So I took it on because it wasn't fair to my dad for him to work all day and not have any food in the house for him. My brother will come over unannounced and pillage through our pantry and fridge. Now for the actual mini update. My dad is furious with my mom over this. My dad isn't speaking to my mom or my brother at the moment. He doesn't want me to move out and even talk to me about doing less around here. He wants me to be able to go out and have fun with my friends without feeling like I have so much to do. He said it was their house before I started paying rent. He asked if I would like to get on the paperwork for the house because I'm paying the mortgage. I said no, I would rather move out and try to have a better relationship with both of them. My dad suggested going no contact with my brother because he is mad over money. My dad had told my mom to grow up and learn to budget. Now I feel like I'm causing a huge split in my family. I told them I can move out tonight. I have a friend that's been trying to get me to move in with her, but my mom is refusing to let me take any of my stuff. I own everything in my room. We are still waiting for the party to happen, but one of my friends said he would come help me move whenever. He works for my dad, but he doesn't want to get too involved in everything. I will update later with more info. Before we get to the next update, OP, you are not the one causing a rift in your family. Your mom is. It's absolutely your mom and your brother. But I am glad that your dad seems to be on your side and he's trying to make things work in your favor. Update again. Thank you all for the advice. Here's an edit. It's about to get twisted. The party ended a few hours ago, and my dad actually told my mom that he needed to talk with her. She kept insisting she was tired and wanted to go to bed, but he basically told her to sit down and listen. I asked if I could also talk to both of them. My dad eagerly agreed. Everyone in my family knows I'm not very confrontational, so the fact that I asked to talk to both of them scared my mom. I told them both that I'm going to move out and I can stay with my friend until I find a place. My dad said that he totally understands and will give me the money from this month's rent. My mom blew up. She started saying how close we are, and it's completely silly to take what we each said to heart. That we both said things out of spite and hurt, but we can move past it. I told her that I'm really not comfortable paying for everyone in the house to live while they're building things to make their home prettier. I also told her that I'm a tenant, not a freeloading child, thus I have tenant rights. Yes. She came back with, "You will always be my child and I will always be your mother. I have your best interest at heart, not all of these boys you bring to my house." The boys in question are a few of my dad's co-workers that come over with their wives to hang out with my dad and learn to make sourdough. This happens once a week at most. I told her there is only one guy that has my best interest at heart, and that's her husband. My mother became more and more irritated, so I decided to leave for the night. I'm currently at my grandpa's house, sitting and watching TV with him, eating snickerdoodles that I taught him how to bake. He told me that I am always welcome to come stay with him for however long I want, free of charge, as long as I do the cooking, only because this man cannot cook anything other than hot dogs over a fire. My grandfather is so disappointed in his son, grandson, and daughter-in-law, and that makes me kind of sad. I have always been very close to him, so he knows everything that's been going on for a while. He was telling me that I needed to see things for myself the way they were, and I will finally understand. He was right, and I'm very happy to be here with him. I have to go to the house tomorrow, though, to pack my things and move. If anything happens tomorrow, I will update. But for now, this is all. Thank you all for the advice and support. Oh, I'm so glad you have Grandpa. Um, and truly, it does make a difference when you stay long enough to see things with your own eyes. You'll never believe anything to its core just from people telling you the way you will from experiencing it. An update, whatever number this is another update. I don't know anymore. I am officially, oh, it's update number, I don't know anymore. I am officially moved out and living with my grandfather till the 25th. Then I move into my own place. It's not big, but it's perfect for me. My mom has been calling and leaving voicemails either screaming or crying. My brother is beyond pissed about the situation, but luckily my dad and him left to go out of town for work. I am happy where I am for a little bit, but will be looking for a bigger place with a roommate after my 6-month lease is up. Thank you all for everything and the advice. I truly appreciate it. Thank you for validating how I was feeling and ensuring I'm not crazy or mean. To answer some questions about my family that I've seen asked a few times, my grandfather owns the company that my dad and brother work for. I was always welcome to work there, and I did for a year, but my relationship with my family was very strained at the time, hence why I changed careers. My parents bail my brother out of every situation he finds himself in. They have asked me on multiple occasions to help my brother out with money for all types of reasons. The projects at the house, my mom started her own lavender farm and spends 99% of her time and my dad's money trying to make it look presentable. Other projects include but are not limited to regraveling the driveway, replanting grass, planting trees, building a shop, painting the house, building an awning for the back porch, adding a concrete pad for the back porch, getting chickens, building a chicken coop, and everything else you can imagine for 25 acres of land. Most of that didn't sound more important. Okay, none of it is more important than paying your mortgage, but most of it didn't sound necessary to maintain your home. Like, I get prioritizing projects that are going to, keep your home from deteriorating, or, if something is broken, fixing it. Yes. Anything to keep the house from deteriorating in the quality of it. That's not the right word. What's the word? We'll go with quality. I think you know what I mean. But to maintain it. The only thing here on this list that is maintaining the integrity, that's it, the integrity of the house, would be painting the house. If it's wood sided, painting it does protect the wood. Otherwise, probably not. But regraveling the driveway, no, I bet it does look prettier with new gravel, but you could just have the gravel road graded and that would fix it. But building an awning for the back porch, because if there's boards on the back porch, the awning would protect the wood, make it last longer. That makes sense. Adding the concrete pad for the back porch. I'm not sure if that means you're expanding it, if it's not going to be a wood porch, if it's going to be a concrete porch, but possibly. My parents' money situation. My parents bought a camping trailer a few years ago and owe big money on it. My mom bought a new car about 2 years ago, and majority of the rest of the money goes to my brother. He can't save any money and will spend his last cent at coffee shops. Once again, thank you all for everything and being so kind. I feel like I just went on a roller coaster. That, with all the updates, that was quite possibly the longest story I've ever read. It was a good one. If it's that bad, especially because you're not going to be paying them rent anymore, sell the camping trailer. What are you doing? The new car, if she still has a payment on it and the payment is outrageous, sell it for enough to pay it off and buy a used car instead that she can buy outright or have a really low payment on. I'm so glad you moved out. This was a whole whirlwind. But I'm so glad that you found a nice place. I figured you would get something small, but if it's just you, it's so valuable to just have your own private space. Love that for you. And I also love that you're already thinking about getting a new place and finding a roommate and living with somebody. I think that's going to be great too. I'm so glad this worked out well for you and you're happy. You and your grandpa are good together. Sounds like you and your dad are good together. And your mom and your brother can just go off to the poorhouse together. Oh, okay. Wow, that is 2 stories and us done for the day. That is it for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here, for hanging out and listening with me. And I will see you next week for another episode. Bye, guys.